Hello, Miss Rainey. Welcome.
Thank you. Hey, Tanisha. How are you?
I'm well. So glad to have you today.
Good. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
Wonderful. Oh, I love your background. It's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. A little bit of artwork over here by
I see that. I see that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are just thrilled to have you on. Why don't we start by having you tell us just a little bit about what it is that you do in the fashion and art industry?
Absolutely. So my role is I am actually the artist manager and director of Fabstract. He is an artist who also happens to be my husband.
Okay.
And of course, I handle all of the business affairs, social media, marketing, etc. But my second role and my true passion is poetry and spoken word. So that's where it's at for me.
That's where it's at. Well said. So do you come from a literary background? Was it a dad or a schooling? How did you get your start?
Actually, I don't. I come from a psychology and spirituality background.
Okay.
And I feel like both of those have actually helped me really understand myself, my inner voice, help develop it. And I think that being a poet is more of like a lifelong journey of getting to know yourself and being able to verbalize emotions. And of course, as you grow, as time passes, you change. So you evolve as a poet with time, and it's almost like a healing process as well.
Right.
So that's my background.
Okay. It seems like you've got the skills for it. So can you tell me how you got your start?
Well, early on, I used to actually, of course, English and literature were my favorite subjects in school. So I would actually write poetry in elementary and even middle school and speeches, and I entered several public speaking contests. So it's just always been something that I've been passionate about naturally. It comes naturally to me. One of the most inspirational, I think, events in my life that led me down this course is I come from a very large Spanish family. And
Right.
I remember having family gatherings. I was really young, probably 6, 7. And one of my uncles was a poet, or what I would say a spoken word poet. And he would actually, we would all gather around this large group of people, and I would be at the front of the row there, just sitting, listening, wanting to hear him because he was so passionate and so just the way he spoke just was so inspiring. And that's one of the main memories that I have in the back of my mind that I feel like were so inspiring to me as a poet.
Wow, that is a great story. So we know a little bit about what inspired you.
Yes.
Process. Everybody's process is different as an artist or a creative. Can you take us down that road for you? What is your process when you're developing a poem or a spoken word work of art?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't have this methodical way of producing poems. I'm honestly a very emotional and spontaneous writer. Most of my poetry comes about when I'm highly emotional and in the moment. So I will literally start getting the words forming in my mind, this just ideas starts brewing, sentences start forming. So when that starts happening, I know that I have to sit down and just start writing. Okay. And as I sit down and write, it just all pours out of me. And usually it's a rough draft,
Okay.
But you know, that's the madness behind how I write. It's a very emotional and in the moment, spontaneous type of writing for me.
Wow, that's amazing. It sounds like it starts with that cognitive process first and then
Definitely.
flows out from there.
Definitely.
So thank you
Yes.
for sharing that. There's a lot happening in the world right now with the COVID-19 pandemic and all of the racial injustice that we have seen that's been around, but especially seen recently. How, as a artist, a mother, a spouse, just a caring individual, passionate, caring individual, how has our current social climate impacted you as an individual and as an artist creatively?
I mean, it has immensely impacted me because, like I said, I'm a very emotional writer. So, you know, it's crazy because I remember being younger and I often would ask myself, like, what would I do if I was living in the time of like Rosa Parks or Martin Luther King? Like, what would I do? Who would I be? What would I be doing? Or, you know, what would my place in the whole revolution be? And right now, I feel like I'm doing it. Like, poetry and art and music, all of that is so important. It plays such a huge role in the evolution of a culture, right? So when these poets come together, or these artists, musicians, everybody just comes together out of love, and it's that raw emotion, inspiration, like that's part of the healing. So I feel like I'm doing exactly what I would be doing in this revolution, that I'd be doing in the revolution of like Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King. So, but it has immensely impacted me. And I do posts regularly on Instagram with my poetry, and the majority of those are what I call Dear Dope Soul posts, and it's just outpour of emotion. Thank you. So it's an outpour of emotion of what I'm feeling at that moment, and that's how I do it. And that's how this whole social climate has impacted me.
Wow, thank you for sharing that. And I love how you posed that. Very eloquently said where you would be, what your place is in this social revolution that's happening right now, and bringing people together, because that really is what the arts do for us, right?
Exactly.
It brings people
we all
together.
have, right. And we all have different roles in it, you know. Everybody is not going to be in the front lines and, you know, at just doing anything or everything, but you have your own gift, your own power that you share with the world, and you help heal, and that's how we all do it together.
So well said. Heal. That's the key word. We got to get to a place where we can heal. So thank you for sharing that. We're gonna go into our We Want to Know questions.
Okay.
And it's just a little bit more about you. So my first question is, because we talked a little bit about poetry and stuff, but who is your lyrical crush?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I see the smile.
There are so many, honestly. And I think like the majority of them for me personally are musicians. I mean, music has always been such an integral part of my life growing up and who I am. So like, of course, growing up Hispanic, I would listen to like Héctor Lavoe and Rubén Blades and you know, Willie Colon, and all their music is so intense and their lyrics are so beautiful and so powerful. They just captivated me. And of course, you know, we had the hip hop side of it, Lauryn Hill and, you know, Missy Elliott, Biggie, Tupac. So to me, music lyricists have always been a big crush, right? But if I had to pick like one poetic like person that I crush on, I would have to say, without a doubt, Pablo Neruda, the poet. He just has a way of romanticizing words that makes you absolutely fall in love with every single line. So it's amazing to me.
I love that you shared that. And the other thing that I love about your poetry, because I've been fortunate enough to come to an event and see you perform, is that you do a bilingual a lot of times. So you're able to incorporate that into your poetry and bring in more cultural diversity and just meet all those different kinds of genres. So thank you for sharing that. Music is definitely one of the favorites.
Definitely.
Right. So that leads me to my next question. And you may have already answered it, but I'm going to ask you anyway. So we all know that the arts encompasses so many different things. What is your all-time favorite form of creative expression? Is it language arts? Is it fine art? Is it fashion? Because fashion is a creative expression outlet. Music and movement, or other? What's your favorite?
You know, honestly, it's kind of like the same answer. There's no way I could pick. I am literally an art addict. Like, I'm a junkie for art, all of it. I'm here for all of it. I'm here for the passion, for the raw expression, for just true emotion. Like when I see someone doing what they love and they have that sparkle in their eye, that true passion that sets them on fire, that sets me on fire. Like, that's what I live for. So I can't pick one form of expression as my favorite, because they're all so connected and so intertwined and so inspirational. It's just, for me personally, it's impossible. I love them all.
It's all of them. I love that.
Yes.
That's the sign of a true creative, I think. So I'm glad that you weren't able to pick one of them. I want to ask you, this is a platform, and you are an artist, and you are a public figure, and if you had a message to send to our community, and I know you do, why don't you share that message with us at this time?
Yes. So my message is specifically to the creatives of the world, okay? Now is the time. Right now is the time when the world needs you the most. Like, we need you. Speak your truth. Live your light. Let it shine. Just be a source of inspiration for so many people that need you right now. This is what's going to take our world into the next level of evolution, of where we need to be, so that we're all vibrating on a level of love. So you are instrumental. Like, the world needs you. Art cannot be canceled, period, ever.
That's right. I love that. Did you guys hear that? The world needs you. I mean, somebody needed to hear that. So thank you for sharing that message. Would you be willing to bless us with a spoken word piece here on the Fashion Roundtable Live?
I guess I can do that for y'all. Absolutely. The piece that I brought to share with you all today is one that I hold very close to my heart. It's part of my journey, so it's called Self-Love. And here we go. Self-love, self-love. Who knew that this journey would come from above? So many years spent in the haze and questioning who I really was. So many years spent suppressing that light and wondering if I would ever be good enough. You see, they make us believe that a strong woman isn't supposed to be pretty. And if you aren't pretty, you don't deserve love, just straight up pity. Or they tell us, you're way too pretty. What could you possibly know? Or they're thinking, you look easy. I bet you never say no. They make us believe that women should stay in their place. Keep your head down. You know that you'll never amount to more than just a pretty face. And they tell us a good woman is chaste. Don't you dare give it up before marriage, or even worse, get pregnant. What a disgrace. Self-love, self-love. Who knew that this journey would come from above? I found myself when I finally looked up and saw who I really was, because I had had enough. Enough of their words so false. Eyes wide open, I could now see that those words were just chains forged together to hold down a queen, a goddess of light who they were just in fear of. So I took their chains, link by link, and I began to climb out of that darkness of the self-doubt pit. The higher I climbed, the brighter the light would hit, and the brighter the light, the more I loved myself, and I could finally admit that my life was mine to live. That no matter how that looked to anyone else, I would forever commit. Commit to my passions and my voice. Commit to my actions and my own choice. Commit to my heart and not to the noise. Commit to loving myself and being my own joy. Commit to self-growth and healing instead of setting out to self-destroy. Commit to self-love and believing that I am indeed my own Helen of Troy. Self-love, self-love. Who knew that this journey would come from above? Who knew that this journey would teach me so much? Who knew that this journey would be a true labor of love? And after it was all said and done, I would finally find my inner goddess and emerge triumphant and victorious.
Oh my goodness. Wow. I mean, hands up.
Thank you.
That gave me goosebumps. Honestly, I got chills when you were speaking, and I think that so many of us could definitely relate to that journey that you just so eloquently spoke about. Thank you for sharing and for blessing us. I just have one last question for you.
Of course.
Where can we, the followers that are here now, the fans, where can we see more of you? How can we be in touch with you? And what's next for you?
Absolutely. So please follow me on Instagram at Rainey_Mrs. Of course, you can see my daily or not daily, but regular Dear Dope Soul posts there. Please visit our website, www.fabstract.com. Fabstract and I are actually currently working on developing a nonprofit organization, which is going to help us help people heal through art. So keep an eye out for that. We also have a yearly show that unfortunately due to COVID, we had to cancel this year, Articulate Tampa, which is a platform to help uplift and have other artists in the area have exposure and do their art and be seen. Other than that, you can find me anywhere there's love, peace, good vibes. That's me. Art and art.
All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We wish you the best in all your future endeavors. You know that we will be there to support, and we really appreciate you coming on and blessing us in this crucial time. People need to hear more of what you have to give. So thank you, Paula.
Thank you. And it is an honor. Thank you. And it was an honor. I want to thank you. It was an honor to be here and to have that platform to be able to share love and just give love. So I appreciate the Fashion Roundtable. Thank you, guys. It was awesome.
Thank you to all the people
Peace
who joined the comments.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
We will see you guys next time.